What's everyone up to? Oh, I had a big day. I don't know if anyone noticed, but it's nearly Christmas. I work in retail. It's a bit crazy. Hey, Stephen Lang. Place is a bit manic, to be honest. Had yesterday off. Not sure I achieved much. Did a job next door on the next door neighbour's motorbike. Did a bit more cleaning up on the punch press, like the kick press. Put most of the kick press back together. Pretty cool. Bench is looking a lot better than it was. There's half a tin of poly stripper there. There's a tin of undercoat and some extra bright green paint. Just set of pin punches with one missing. Wonder where that is. Good question. No real answer on that. Selection of silver steel. Half a dry stone. A small box full of bolts. Grind off an angle grinder guard. Set drills. 2 steel rules. A sticker. Automatic pencil. Piece of brass bar. Small stationary steam engine that needs some work. Square file. This is my life. See how it is. Don't know what that is. It's a block of aluminium. So packaging peanut. And the broken piece off the mill feed. Hey Bill. Hey Paddy. Kevin, g'day. Craig, hello. Fridge, g'day. Looks nothing like your bench, Bill. You're just kidding yourself. You're trying to pretend that you're not organised. My bench is a bit crazy, but I've been scratching paint all week. The main base for the bench for the press all stripped down and undercoated. It's a really nice job. I'm pleased with that. I still got to do the legs. It's probably a job for this weekend, or it might not be. It depends how I feel. Get a coat of paint on them though, and we're starting to look like we're putting it together. We've got some bits painted. The press as such is back together. Got all the RAM and everything in. Got the 2 strip bolts out. I'm thinking, let's get on to this. Yeah, Bill's shop's pretty organised. He's not feeling that falling anyway. So this is progress on this. There we go. Don't believe the stories. Stephen's got a new truck that looks pretty awesome. Sorry, Fridge. I've had a big day. I was at work at 8 o'clock and I've served 63 customers today. I've done personally just over $500 worth of engraving, and I've changed about the same amount of watch batteries and done probably more than that in watch batteries, and I've done quite a few major watch repairs today. So that's been my day. Anyway, this is going back together. This slowly. Rust Knox, I've got that problem. I lost this stud out of the top here. I think this is probably leather once. It was a long time ago. It might be insertion rubber. It probably doesn't matter much. We'll do something to give it a bit of packing. I think it went under the top here, not under there. But couldn't find this stud for about a day yesterday. Got these two strip bolts out of the bottom. Bit of an ordeal actually. One of them was just full of dirt. And this is what they've got, which is a sort of a stud that's been turned down to 5/8. It's a bit ugly. What I probably would like to do is put 2 thread inserts in here. I possibly could. It turned upside down on the big mill. When we get it going, drill these out and put thread inserts in them, or bushings or something, make some thread inserts to bush them to 5/8. That would probably be ideal. The Heine and some of the others have got a T-slot in here, but this one never ever got that, and I can't see how you would put that in. So probably not going to live with that, but something to press to bolt a press plate onto. So here we go. These are kind of ugly, but they're 5/8, so we might just make these threads 5/8 all the way through, put 5/8 bolts up from the front. These threads are really pretty ordinary. Really not good. Anyway, might do a stretch, but probably I'm going to fix it. Haven't put that plate back on the side yet. I'm not going to put it back on the front because there's 2 holes down here that probably meant to do something. Might leave them space because it was over one of these holes. That's probably plenty good enough, Craig. Something like that. Even put a Scotch key in it. That's sort of what I'm thinking. If we set it upside down on the milling table, we can probably bore them pretty nice and get a reasonable job of that. But especially when we move the ram, we can probably slide it, put it over the edge a bit and clamp it down and clamp this to the front of the table, clamp this down on the table, and then we can probably machine this one and do a decent job of that. And a couple of top hats with Loctited in with 5/8 threads in them, and then probably a Scotch key in the back to keep them in place. That would be really awesome. Might be what happens yet. But it must get a bit of this, and it's been running loose for a while because all these threads in the bottom are all stripped, so that's probably the best thing to do. Anyway, it's coming together. It's got a coat of paint on it. Got more luck with this coat, this paint this time around. Didn't have much luck before, but it's coming together nicely. Be pretty keen to get this up and running because I've got a couple of little jobs for it, and we'll discuss them as we go. But there's a couple of die sets that I really want to make, and one in particular that we can use for work. So just a matter of getting that fixed. So that's the press progress. We've also got the main base for the bed all undercoated, ready to clamp it all together. We bolt it all together, and then we might start thinking about putting some paint on that. And if we get that painted, this can go on it then, and the arm can go on it. It's starting to look like something. So another weekend will make a big difference in it, but I'm probably not going to get these fixed at this point. But anyway, it's really heavy, by the way. Really heavy. I'm just putting it across on the other bench. Gee, that's heavy. Anyway, that's where we're at with that. Still cleaning up books upstairs. Sorry, guys. The mirror is a bottle of vanilla Coke that was obviously at work. And come home and sat on my workbench. Probably still be there next week. Been cleaning out some books. I really have. Some of Dad's stuff. Going through some awesome things here. This book, Zelenzi Publications book. This is my book recommendation for this week. If you're going to buy one book, this is the real deal. It's not just it's a reprint of an old book. It's not like a put together for a laugh. It's the real thing. Preserving the Dead, The Lost Science of Embalming. Modern Embalming. It was first published, oh gee, let's have a look. 1897, 1900. Yeah, you want to be. If anyone asks you where you got their kidney, you can say, well, it was already stuffed when you got it. That usually works in a court of law. But Art and Science of Embalming. It's got pictures and all, like seriously, excellent photographs. Aspirating the right oracle of the heart, yeah. This cadaver's awesome. He's a bit skinny. It's the Barnes needle process. Objections to the eye process. Injection by the Dodge nasal process. See, that cadaver's undergoing that process. Hope your tyres are all right. Removing gases from the stomach. That's what that guy's doing. Removing water from the pelvic cavity. That's something else that obviously needs to be done. Removing serious fluid from pleural cavities through aperture made for tapping the heart. He looks like he's about ready to sit up. And Undertaker there's kind of ready to make a run for it. Probably not everyone's thing, no, but excellent text, really. It's all there, even the worst stuff. Mothered with a child in the womb, it's all there. What to do, post-mortem cases, swelling of the neck, how to fix swelling of the neck, preparing bodies for transportation, funeral etiquette. There's a good book on funeral etiquette. It's all there. Nothing to excess. That's the funeral, the Undertaker's maxim. Words and phrases, glossary. So there you go. There's a book. I think it's probably available from anywhere. So they have machines for stomach gases nowadays. That's excellent. I know it's Fridge's thing. He works in that environment. But very cool. Good book. I was pretty chuffed when I found that. I forgot I even bought that for Dad like 20 years ago. And yeah, we had a good laugh over that. It's an excellent book. Probably if you were sort of prepared for the grave by these techniques, mightn't be exactly kosher nowadays. I'm sure it works for animals too. When I was a kid, there was a guy who went missing in Tasmania, northern Tasmania, in northeastern Tasmania. Taxi, and everyone suspected foul play. And they found him about 3 or 4 or 5 years later, something beside the road up on little creek track off Rose's Tier there, which probably in the words of Lawson, the track seldom crossed except by folk who were lost. And he only had all that was left was the car with the car door open. He was sitting there, and his boots were still there with the bones sticking out. So that was all was left after the devils got to him. So it's just a little anecdote from my childhood. Sorry, guys. Rustox is right though. Yeah, probably an anecdote for another day. And the day it pass away would be someone else's problem. So pity heap, you poor guys have all named in my will. You won't want to know about that until afterwards. Here's another book I found. This is awesome. The Complete Housewife, Origins Companion by Liza Smith. This is done by a YouTube channel called Townsend's. What are they called? Townsend's Outfitters in the States. And this is one of their books. It's in Middle English, sort of. It says that these receipts are all suitable with an F for English constitutions with an F and English palates, toothsome both with Fs, and practical and easy, easy also with an F to be performed. Here are those proper for frugal and also for a sumptuous table, and if rightly observed, will be prevent the spoiling of many a good dish of meat, the waste of many good materials, the vexation that frequently attends such mismanagements, and the curses not unfrequently bestowed upon cooks with the usual reflection that whereas God fends good meat, the devil fends cooks. Anyway, it's all in Middle English, so all the Fs are actually S's. So you don't know if you can take that in, but it's struggling a bit to read that. But anyway, awesome recipes in this. It's really good. To make cream of any preserved fruit, to make snow posset, jelly posset, to make ribbon jelly, to make almond butter, to make hartspawn flummery, to make, to parch almonds, to dry apricots. Yeah, how to dry apricots. Take a pound of apricots and a pound of double refined sugar, then stone them and pare them and put them in cold water. And when they are all ready, put them into a skillet of hot water and scald them until they are tender and drain very well from the water, and put them in a silver basin and have in readiness your sugar boiled to sugar again, and pour that sugar over your apricots and cover them with a silver plate and let them stand all night. The next day set them over a gentle fire and let them be scalding hot, turning them often. You must do them twice a day until you feel them begin to candy, and dry them. Take them out and dry them and set them in your stove or glasses to dry, heating your stove every day until they're dry. There you go. Preserved green plums to make cakes of flowers. An excellent medicine for shortness of breath. There you are, shortness of breath. Shortness of breath. Take an ounce of flour of brimstone, a quarter of an ounce of beaten ginger, and 3/4 of an ounce of beaten senna, and mix all together 4 ounces of honey. Take the bigdles of nutmeg night and morning for 5 days altogether, then once a week for some time, and then once for a fortnight. Fix ya. COVID cure. Right there, COVID cure. You saw it first here. And if that doesn't work, try this cure for dropsy. If you get past all that, you can fix your pimpled face and sweeten the blood too. Here's one that does everything. Cure the dropsy, rheumatism, scurvy, and cough of the lungs. Geez, good stuff. Hey, Paul. Yeah, well, you could die with COVID too if you take that. Here, take English orris root, squills, and elecampane roots, each 1 ounce. Hyssop and horehound leaves, each 1 handful. Inner rind of a green elder and dwarf elder, each 1 handful. Senna 1.5 ounces. Agaric 2 drams. Ginger 1 dram. Cut the roots thin and bruise the leaves and put them all into 2 quarts of the best Lisbon wine. Let these boil for 1.5 hours on a gentle fire in an earthen mug, very close stopped with a cork, and tied down with a bladder that no air can come to it. And so set it in a large pot of boiling water. Set it so that no water can get in the mug, which must hold 3 quarts, and that all ingredients may have room to go in. It is almost cold. Drain it all out very hard. You must scrape the elder downwards. Take this 1 week together if you can, and then miss a day. And if it does not go on with another bottle of the same. Take it in the morning. Fasting, that word is fasting. 10 spoonfuls at a time without any posset drink. It will both vomit and purge you. 'Tis unpleasant taste, therefore should take a lump of sugar after it. When it's quite cold after it's strained off, let it stand on a flagon to fettle a night and a day. Bottle up clear and fine for your use. 'Tis an admirable method. Yeah, just have a cure for loose stool. Probably. Stop bleeding. Preserve green apricots. To make jelly currants. To make apricot chips. An admirable tincture for green wounds. To make the burning perfume. To make gooseberry wine. It's all there. To make cowslip wine. To make sage wine. To make cock ale. To make elderflower wine. Make plague water. There you go. There's how to make plague water. If you can get any of those things, I take my tips my lead to you. Really, it'd be awesome. Plague water, there you go. Walnut water. What does walnut water do? I don't know, but it sounds like good stuff. A cordial water that can be made in winter. To make poppy brandy. To make cherry brandy. To make the dropsy water. Lily of the valley water. Milk water. A powder to cure a rupture. If you've got a hernia, that's the stuff to take. It stops you all up inside and you have no more problems. All looks good stuff. Very good medicine for the bloody flux. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. To keep artichokes all the year. See, this is where this stuff comes. If you didn't do stuff like keep artichokes all the year, you wouldn't have most of these complaints. That's where we're at. So, seriously, it's cause and effect. The book doesn't help anything. To keep artichokes all the year. Yeah, nah. Anyone who's had day-old artichokes is... To know if a child has worms or not, take a piece of white leather and peck it full of holes with your knife and rub it with wormwood and spread honey on it. This is a true story. And the powder of Allah's something on it, laid on the child's navel when he goes to bed. If the worms, the plaster will stick fast, and if you have it not, it will fall. There you go. To cure the joint evil, to cure cancer, to cure the green sickness. Salve for a sprain. Anyway, awesome book. Why would you keep them? Artichokes, yeah. Why would you keep them full stop? That's right. They're awful. They make you pretty sick if you get a rotten artichoke. This is what the people did before Facebook. Yeah, they made patent medicines for things that they may or may not have had any problems with. You've got to make them 6 months before all of them, so just in case. We're going to have dropsy in the winter. Hey, Dreams, not from you yet. Thanks for your note. Bill, you could learn a lot from this book. Excellent. Townsends.us, they've got a good YouTube channel, a really good YouTube channel. It's worth a look. Off topic, but cool. Awesome book. This is another one that's probably a family favourite from like decades back. This is awesome. Bill says I should read a chapter of this every live stream. I don't know if it's everyone's cup of tea, but it's an awesome book. It's The Magic Pudding, being the adventures of Bunyip Bluegum and his friends Bill Barnacle and Sam Sornuff. Published in Sydney by Angus and Robertson. First published 1918 by Angus and Robertson in Sydney. Reprinted 1990, 1920, 1924, 1930, 1935, 1937, 1938, 1940, and so on until now. And I think it's still on in print. It's a book about whiskers, really. Excellent book. See, there's an uncle with whiskers. See? This is a frontways view of Bunyip Bluegum and his Uncle Wattleberry. That's Uncle Wattleberry. That's Bunyip Bluegum, apparently. At a glance, you can see what a fine, round, splendid fellow Bunyip Bluegum is, without me telling you. Yeah, see? At a second glance, you see that Uncle is much more square than round, and his face has whiskers on it, you see? Looked at sideways, you can still see what a splendid fellow Bunyip Bluegum is, although you can only see one of his uncle's whiskers, see? Observed from behind, however, you completely lose sight of the whiskers and so fail to realise how immensely important they are. In fact, these very whiskers were the chief cause of Bunyip's leaving home to see the world, for as he often said to himself, that whiskers alone are bad enough, attached to faces coarse and rough, but how much greater their offence is, have been stuck on uncles' countenances. There you go. The plain truth was, see, the Bunyip and his uncle lived in a small house in a tree, and there was no... Bunyip's a koala, and so's his uncle. And there was no room for the whiskers. What was worse, the whiskers were red, and they blew around in the wind, and Uncle Wattleberry would insist on bringing them into the dinner table with him when he got in the soup, see? See the whiskers in the soup. Bunyip Bluegum was a tiny bear, and he objected to whisker soup, and was forced to eat his meals outside, which was awkward, and besides the lizards come and borrowed his soup. There you go. Hey, Tom. There you go. His uncle refused to listen on the subject of his whiskers. It was quite useless to give him hints such as presents of razors and scissors and boxes of matches to burn them off. On such occasions he would remark, "Shaving may add an air that's somewhat brisker, but for dignity commend to me the whisker." Or when more deeply moved he would exclaim, "As noble thoughts the inward being grace, so noble whiskers dignify the face." There you go. Prayers and entreaties to move the whiskers being of no avail, Bunyip decided to leave home without any more ado. So there you go. And proceeds is the story of leaving home and seeing the world. The trouble was that he couldn't make up his mind whether to be a traveller or a swagman. You can't go about the world being nothing, but if you are a traveller you have to carry a bag, while if you're a swagman you have to carry a swag, and the question is, which is the heavier? At length he decided to put the matter before Egbert Rumpus Bumpus, the poet, and ask his advice. He found Egbert busily writing poems on a slate. He was so busy that he had time to sing out, "Don't interrupt the poet, friend," until his poems had an end, and went on writing harder than ever. He wrote all down one side of the slate and up the other, and then remarked, "As there is no time to finish that, the time has come to have our chat. Be quick, my friend, your business state, before I take another slate." There you go, it's Edward Rumpus Bumpus, the poet, in his slates, you see. "Hey, Mark and Kimberzalik. The fact is," said Bunyip, "that I've decided to see the world, and can't make up my mind whether to be a traveller or a swagman. Which would you advise?" Then said the poet, "As you've no bags it's plain to see, a traveller you cannot be, and as a swag you haven't either, you cannot be a swagman neither. For travellers must carry bags, and swagmen have to hump their swags, like botlows or ragmen. As you have neither swag nor bag, you must remain a simple wag, and not a swag or bagman." "Dear me," said Bunyip Bluegum, "I never thought of that. What must I do in order to see the world without carrying swags or bags?" The poet thought deeply, put on his eyeglass, see, and said impressively, "Take my advice, don't carry bags, for bags are just as bad as swags." They never made the measure. To see the world, your simple trick is but to take a walking stick, assume an air of pleasure, and tell the people near and far you stroll about because you are a gentleman of leisure. See? "You've solved the problem," said Bunyip Bluegum, and wringing his friend's hand he ran straight home, took his uncle's walking stick, and assuming an air of pleasure set off to see the world. Now, that was easy, see? He found a great many things to see, such as dandelions and ants and traction engines and bolting horses and furniture being removed. Besides being kept busy raising his hat and passing the time of day with people on the road, for he's a very well-bred young fellow, polite in his manners and graceful in his attitudes, and able to converse on a great variety of subjects, having read all the best Australian poets. You probably will. Anyway, so that's the Magic Pudding. That's definitely worth a read too, especially if you've got kids. It's well worth it. Australian book is pretty awesome. What else? Don't know. No real progress on anything else, as far as me. Who's got new videos out this week? I see one from Russ Knox. Maybe. Hands up who's got a new video out. Drill press into an arbor press, that's right. I do not understand everything. Yeah, sorry. Last video was a bomb. Sorry about that. Rusty's gone to sleep. Every Friday from Russ Knox. That's awesome. I'm going to work on another one too. I've got a second video of my mill transfer thing sort of half fixed up. I might get the rest of it published at some point when I get time. Christmas is crazy for me. One from Matt. Craig will have one done before Christmas. I've been trying half-heartedly, very half-heartedly, to get a bottle of Argon for the TIG. Hasn't happened. I'm sort of a bit embarrassed to show you the library at the moment. I've got... Stuff's happened. Sorry, one of Dad's mates is moving house and he had a surplus leather lounge suite, like full-size leather lounge suite, which he brought home with a view to giving away because it was too good to trash. Oh, Russ Knox, that sounds awesome. Well done on that loco. So I got a new leather lounge suite out of it, you see. So it's been sitting downstairs here next to the door for a while. A couple of times I thought I had the afternoon nap on it, and it was pretty comfortable. It was a really nice lounge suite. So it's nicer than the one I had upstairs, which was a bit short to lay on. The problem with taking it upstairs and moving mine down is that I've got to get rid of mine. So mine's at the top of the stairs for a bit. If anyone wants a two-seater lounge, fabric two-seater lounge in pretty nice condition, free to a good home at this point. Oh, that's awesome, Stephen. That's exciting. We'll tune in for that for sure. So the new, as is where the old sofa has gone out onto the landing, I've had to sort of stack up all the books that were piled up out there and sort of condense them into an area in the library and the floor. So there's junk everywhere inside there. Um, 45mm loco. Cracker's pretty nice, but I think that's 32mm, isn't it? Some good stuff. Hit fridge up. Dan Shed. He's got some nice stuff. He's O gauge too, but a lot of it translates backwards and forwards. Take care, Matt. Like Dan says, most of his are gauge adjustable. Build something decent. Build 7.25 inch gauge, 7.5 inch gauge, something you can. Oh yeah, the new lounge is awesome, and I was tired last night. I was stuffed. Sorry, Bill. Everyone else who had to put up with me, chirpy. I'd had enough. Pretty exhausted by last night. But anyway, haven't had 2 days off in a row, so I'm sort of making the most of it. Eric is a good book. I think Stephen said in passing once that he has that book, Steam Trains in the Garden, green book. It's a very good book. Yeah, I think you're right. It's pretty small. I've got a couple of smaller ones that I'd like to build, but it hasn't happened yet. Maybe after Christmas. I've got a couple of projects to finish first. I really need to get my ass into gear and finish some stuff. Get some stock cleaned up and out of the way, and some storage and everything over Christmas, and then after that we can start on projects again. I'm still putting crap away here. This bench is way tidier than it was. I haven't done anything productive on it. I've got little piles of bolts and bits of stock and scrap and stuff here everywhere. Craig asked a question about the mill. This has been broken for a long time. This little casting is the bit frail actually, but this is the y-axis stop. And there's two of them. This one snapped. It's a bit. So might make a couple of new ones out of steel, or one anyway out of steel, probably two, with a bolt in them, and that'd make a good job of that. It would be a good TIG braze repair, and probably that's what Dad intended to do, but it would be much easier and much better, I think, to make a couple out of steel or a block of cast iron. I could, Kevin, but I'm not quite sure that the actual reality is anything like the dream there. Word on the street is I'll probably get a visitor over the weekend. Another fairly prominent YouTuber. I'm not at liberty to say who yet, but that might be good fun. Hopefully he'll turn up. Can sort of get some footage, video footage maybe, some pictures. So I'll keep you posted about that. No, it should be good fun. See, Matty's got a running loco, which is awesome. Or Matty, I'm not sure if I'm probably too soon with that. Matty's got a running engine, but I probably shouldn't have said that. You didn't hear it here. What else? I bought some. Did I bring drawings downstairs? No, I don't know if I did. I had drawings. Wonder what happened to them. I found the boiler drawings and some other drawings as well. I haven't seen those. Not sure he's a beer visitor, to be honest. Don't know what else I've got to say, really. I'm in Queensland. The YouTuber that I'm talking about probably isn't from Queensland, but anyway, I did hear something about that. Now, someone in chat said that they were in Melbourne, somewhere near. Here we go. On the western side of Melbourne. Someone in chat here said that they were on the western side of the Melbourne, Laverton Way. Yes, thanks, Bill. If that person could contact me either on Facebook or Discord or something like that, I'd really like to talk to you if you're on that side of Melbourne. It's about an unrelated thing, but I did hear, I think I heard someone say that they're over Laverton Way. And if you are, that'd be really appreciative. So, on a completely unrelated matter, well, it's not, but too soon to sort of mention it here. Get in touch with me if you're on that side of town. So, I'll put that out there. Anyway, the Cracker seems to be a fairly nice little engine. Everyone seems to build them. They always seem to be reliable and they're good fun. It's a little, basically, it's a vertical boarded, vertical, horizontal boarded tramway sort of engine. Fun thing. That's the 400s piston on the bench. I'm really a bit discouraged about this. Everyone seems to be making motors that run. I see Andrew Whale has another runner. It's a really pretty engine, actually. Go and check out Andrew Whale's videos. My 400 needs a good run in, and I don't know if that's going to be enough. I'm just watching the comments here. Sorry, guys. Apologise for that. Apart from that, there's absolutely no progress. The welder's under the bench and all hooked up, but I haven't got a bottle of gas yet. There's a really nice welding bench in Brisbane for sale today, but it only lasted a couple of hours before someone bought it, so that wasn't really an opportunity. Fax drawings are never much good. By the time you get around to making something, you can't actually read them. It's a problem. I'm nearly done, to be honest. Probably going to nearly sign off, guys. Really appreciate you tuning in. I've going to probably go upstairs for a bit. If I lay down on the sofa, I'm probably going to fall asleep. So it's been a fairly big day, a fairly big week, and it's only just starting. Really, it feels like. It is a bit, Bill. Hey, Scott and Tara, good to see you guys. Hope you're doing okay over there. Hope you managed to avoid I know you probably did, but I hope everyone in America managed to avoid the the tornadoes this week so far. Take care, guys. I think I'm going to call this. It's an early one. It's earlier than normal. Maybe next week I'll have some more content. I'll see you all before Christmas, I hope. But the ones I don't, have a great Christmas and be kind to each other. All you guys out there, don't get stuck in the chimney. And be kind to each other. I'm out. Thanks, guys.